Before you understand your role in the AI and ML development, let's understand what is the life of AI ML development looks like in this lesson. See, so far you learned that to develop AI and machine learning model, you require a data set of algorithms to learn patterns in the data, and depending on the type of task you are trying to build your machine learning for, it creates expected outcome. That's the process. You cannot be completely wrong here. Here in this picture, only thing is we are undermining the efforts, skills and technology required to execute these. Actual ML lifecycle looks very comprehensive and involved. See, in this lesson we will try to understand the ML workflow that you have seen and also figure out what team structure is required to execute this. See, the ML lifecycle is a series of stages that goes through becoming a functioning AI model within the product or a service. Let's break it down. So the first one is data collection, and see, this is where it all starts. We gather the data that will train our AI. So you as a PM needs to be involved in defining what kind of data is needed based on the product goal, based on the specific project goal, etc. So once collected, data needs to be aggregated from different sources. It needs to be clean. It needs to be normalized and standardized in the language, in the format that machine learning algorithms can understand. Don't worry, all these tasks are performed by data engineers, and as a product manager, as a business executive, you should only oversee this to ensure that the data that engineers which are using are aligned with user expectations and privacy standards. At this stage, detecting and mitigating bias is very crucial. So as a product manager, you should advocate for fairness and inclusivity in the data. Don't worry, we'll learn all of these in the future module. The next is data labeling and encoding are also part of this. So product managers should understand these processes to ensure that data is accurately represented before it goes for model training. Prior to model training, there is an important step called feature engineering. Here we decide what attributes of the data that the model should pay attention. We have seen this in the task of machine learning identifying cats versus dogs. There are certain attributes of a cat or a dog that we should specify so that the model learns from these attributes in order to do it. So as a product manager, you should work with data scientists to ensure that the features that are created aligns with the product. So next is model building. So now we start building the AI models by selecting appropriate algorithms and then experimenting with several algorithms. So here as a product manager, you need to involve in setting the criteria for the, please keep in mind, only model accuracy cannot be a model, right? In model development module, we will learn how to set the model success criteria and how to define what I call it as model OKR, right? But model learning and validation is something that happens here. And as a product manager, you should ensure that the model meets those performance metrics that aligns with the business outcome. The next one is model deployment. See, here the model is and then deployed into production. Before this, the model is already aligned with the performance metric. Now you are testing it under various different scenarios to make sure that when this model will deteriorate or fail, and how to basically build mitigation. So as a product manager, you need to coordinate with your engineering team to ensure there is a smooth deployment. Of course, once the models are deployed, the model needs to be continuously monitored to ensure that it is performing as expected. So as a product manager, you need to set up the process for ongoing evaluation and maintenance, and also specify for various different teams what metrics to monitor and why to monitor. Of course, the last stage is integration and rollout to the user applications. PM should manage this process to ensure that users are effectively interacting with AI. They are trained, they are educated, they are informed about several different types of AI issues, AI risk. This is also something that you will learn in a dedicated module on user education and adoption. So lastly, there is a model governance, right? So here it is important to understand how the data should be stored for retraining purposes, for refining the models. So you should also oversee how the data is stored and used for future, right? So this includes keeping logs of data, keeping logs of experiments that a data scientist has performed, how the model performances were evaluated, etc. So you ensure there is a proper documentation, and this is also the stage where you ensure that there is a compliance with specific regulations. See, Throughout all these stages, as you can imagine, product managers are essential in bridging the gap between technical teams and business executives, ensuring that AI products serves to both customer needs as well as business strategic goals. As you have seen, it takes a village to raise an AI. It involves a team of data scientists, engineers, architects, UX UI specialists, ML engineers, and people responsible for governance, etc. Remember, the successful AI products are not just about technology. They are about understanding user needs, aligning with business strategies, and navigating all areas where a skilled product manager shine. So as a PM, you are required to coordinate with people at business, technology, and end user, as well as external partners. So if you're already a PM, then you must be already doing some of the. However, due to